Hello everyone! It's been a minute, but welcome back to another video. This might sound a little bit cheesy or cliche, but it is what it is. Sometimes I just think about how weird and genuinely mind-boggling it is that we just exist. And also out of billions of people that have lived, that are living, that will live, out of all the timelines that could have happened, somehow we ended up here. Somehow you've ended up here. You've seen the world through your own eyes and built a map of meaning through your own experiences. What? And there's not a single person alive that thinks exactly the same way you do because they haven't had your exact experiences. I think that alone is pretty miraculous. But I know for me, it doesn't always feel like that, especially now when it feels like everything's already been said, everything's already been created, every idea already exists in some form, especially online. So it's really easy to think, what's the point of creating, at least, of thinking of new ideas? Why even try when someone out there has already done it? And probably done it better than we could have done it. Or so we tell ourselves. But here's the thing we need to remember, your perspective still matters. Because even if an idea has already been said before, it hasn't been said by you. And that's the difference in that small gap where something new can exist. Especially now in a world where so much of what we see online isn't even real. Don't even get me started on AI, it is everywhere. Don't get me wrong, it's impressive and I do love me some ASMR glass fruit cutting videos, but also sometimes there's a lot of deepfakes out there and it's kind of terrifying. The internet is slowly filling with this wave of content that looks human, but it's not. There's literal music being written by algorithms right now. There's art being created in seconds by prompts. There's faces that literally don't even exist, that don't belong to anyone. I think right now with the wave of AI, it still feels a little novel and new and kind of exciting at times, but think about what happens when everything starts to look the same and sound the same and feel the same. When you can't tell what's being made by a person and what's being made by a code. When creating something is literally just pushing a button instead of actually making something, instead of feeling something. Something that Sam Altman said, the CEO of OpenAI, aka the creators of ChatGPT, he said that AI doesn't create, it assembles. It gives you something that already exists, somebody else's idea, but it cannot create. Not like humans can. Maybe in the future it will get to that point where it will be sentient. But as of now, it just creates something out of different pieces that already exist. We're heading towards a world that is more efficient, sure, but also sterile, perfectly optimized, and emotionally empty. And I just feel like the more artificial things get, the more people are going to start craving something actually real, something with that human touch to it. Something made by a person who cared enough to put time and soul into it. We're gonna start to crave those little imperfections. The brush stroke that's a little bit too thick, or the song lyric that doesn't quite rhyme, and the video that's not perfect, but it means something, or it's telling. Speaking of imperfect, my SD card is full, so it stopped recording. But we're back. Back to what I was saying, it's the imperfections that are going to start to feel real and authentic. And that's why your ideas matter, especially now more than ever, because they're real. They're authentic, they're a reminder of what humanity is. And even just the process of creating. You feel something, you have a message to share, a song to write, art to paint. Lately, I've been hearing a lot of people say, create, 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 instead of consume. And where my mind goes, create content. But I think it can mean create anything. Create a drawing, an art piece, a TikTok, a song. This could also just mean taking pictures. They do not have to be good. It's to what I was saying. How cool is it to show other people how you're experiencing the world? Videos and pictures are so cool. Or art, if you can capture a single moment in time. What? Okay. And if you're not artistic and you're like, what, I don't have anything to create, it can literally even be a thought scribbled down in a notebook. It can be a new idea for an app. If you like to build things, if you like to crochet, right here. Just anything to make. And once I started creating instead of constantly consuming, number one, it gave me a better way to be spending my time. And number two, there's this feeling you get when you complete something and you're like, whoa, I made that. That's crazy. What matters is that it's yours. You made it. It came from your head, your lived experiences, and you cared enough to bring it into the world. Even if it seems silly and it seems like,
oh, I created a small art thing. How is this significant?
It doesn't have to be, but at the same time, my mom's mom taught her to crochet. My mom taught me how to crochet. I want to teach my kids how to crochet. Just even the fact that it's been passed along, it can be something as simple as that, just honoring where that came from or making something with someone. My sister and I like to go to the park with our friends and watercolor, and no one's really good at it, but it's fun. And I know, at least especially with putting content online, it can feel very scary and vulnerable. And it's definitely a lot easier to scroll and to consume. It's easier to think, I'll do it later, or someone else will say it better. But hey, what if you're the one meant to say it? What if your voice is the one that reaches someone who really needs to hear it? Because at the end of the day, that's how it happens. The things that move us aren't the ones that are flawless and without imperfections. They're the ones that make us feel something and that make us feel connected to other people. So stop holding your ideas hostage in your head. Don't let them just float around waiting for, oh, maybe someday. Actually turn them into something. Even if it's small, even if it's rough, even if it's not what you imagined at first. One last thing I will touch on is make it just for you. When I started crocheting and making crafts, people really encouraged me to monetize it or commercialize it and just sell it. And while I really appreciate that, I think we get lost in this grind hustle of making something to make money out of it. And yes, I think that's amazing. And if you're able to, do it. But also, if you just make something for yourself, it kind of takes that pressure off and you can just really enjoy it for what it is. But also, like, get that bag. Ultimately, I guess what I'm trying to say is when you make something, you're not just making art or content or a story or this or that. You're making meaning. Sometimes creating is you saying, I'm alive and this is what I'm experiencing. This is what being alive feels like to me. And maybe no one will see it, and that's okay. I think in a world that is drowning with instant everything, something that you took time to create and it was a process is kind of sacred in a way. So I'll just leave you with this. I think your ideas are worth sharing. You're worth sharing. And the world doesn't need another perfect thing. It just needs an honest, real thing. You matter. Your ideas matter. Your experiences matter. Do something with it. If you want, I'm not going to peer pressure anyone to do anything that they're not interested in doing. This is just if you need that extra little push and you've been thinking about doing something, but then you're like, wait, I don't want to be doing something. This is your sign to be doing it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped at least one person. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!